Is this really the year that Timothée Chalamet wins an Oscar? Let's talk about that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Marty Supreme, the newest film from director Josh Safdie. So 1 year after playing Bob Dylan and getting an Oscar nomination, Timothée Chalamet is shooting all his bullets at a new character for a new Oscar play about a character named Marty Mouser. He is an individual who is a wannabe ping pong player. He's a jerk. He is fast talking. He says what he feels, and he may be a little bit of a racist. Well, he comes across a woman who's played by Gwyneth Paltrow, who plays this starlet, this, really famous actress who has a husband who's played by Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary, and who plays Rockefeller. And in the process, he wheels and deals and tries to basically get them to support his goal to be a Japanese ping pong player in the World Championships. This can't be a Josh Safdie movie with a lot of tension and a lot of uncomfortable things, because he also has a friend who's a taxi driver played by Tyler, the Creator. He has a girl who's married to a husband who he ends up getting pregnant, played by, of course, Odessa as Leon. And then he has a mother who's played by, of course, Fran Drescher. And then he has somebody who he's supposed to take care of the dog and doesn't do that and ends up being a gangster. And it's basically about a guy who makes a lot of terrible choices, screws over a lot of people, but somehow feels the passion and the the world of just being jerkish as he tries to be a ping pong player. So that is the kind of story of Marty Supreme, a very Josh Safdie or Safdie Brothers style movie. Well, Marty Supreme is one of the front runners for Oscar contention this year. Of course, he's Timothée Chalamet doing once again what he is capable of doing, which is be one of the greatest actors working today. It's a movie that has garnered a lot of love since I think it premiered at one of the film festivals, Venice or TIFF or whatever it was. And it's a movie that is quite a lot. They let us see this quite a bit early because they knew there's going to be a lot of great word of mouth for it. And I was looking forward to it after I heard about it. Once again, Timothée Chalamet is one of the best actors working today. He takes parts and takes jobs and acting things that are very difficult in nature, whether it be Dune or once again, the Bob Dylan movie, Completely Unknown. The kid is just really good at what he does, and he knows he's really good, and that's why he does what he does. But once again, this is a really stacked movie. Like I said, Gwyneth Paltrow, Odessa Asian, Kevin O'Leary. We have some retired basketball players like Tracy McGrady, Kemba Walker, Isaac Murray, Ted Williams in this movie, David Mamet's in this movie, Fred Hechinger is in this movie, Levon Hawke, Philip Petit, who is the walker over the Twin Towers in the documentary. It's a pretty stacked movie. I mean, once again, the Safdie brothers have split. So, Ben Safdie did, of course, The Smashing Machine. Here's Josh Safdie doing Marty Supreme. And I was kind of missed on the Smashing Machine, but I understand what they were going for. But with this movie, with what it's trying to do, is it any good? Is it worth watching? Yes. For my honest review, absolutely. This movie is a star-making performance for a star that's already out there in the wild by Timothée Chalamet. He only has, at this point, Ethan Hawke as a contender for Best Actor, and I think this is the best performance he's ever done. I think this is the best performance of the year. I think everybody, for the most part, outside of Gwyneth Paltrow and maybe Tyler, the Creator, are not anywhere on the level of what Timothée Chalamet is doing. This performance is it's not in the realm, but it's similar to like the Leonardo DiCaprio Wolf of Wall Street character, where it's an individual that's fast talking, says what he wants, does what he wants, and will leave no stone unturned, and will leave blood on his hands to get what he wants. And it's also a movie where he hurts a lot of people in this movie, and it's just a very brutal, very uncomfortable, but well-paced, very interesting, fun, beautifully shot, well-crafted movie by Josh Safdie. This is one of the best movies of the year that I can honestly mention to people. I think it's a really, really fascinating movie. I think it's way too long, though. I think it could be like 2 hours and 12 minutes and still get its point across, because I think there are subplots, and I think the one with the dog and the old man who ends up being a gangster is a little kind of out there. I think that whole subplot in general, I think it just doesn't work, to be fairly honest. I think it was added in there because, they thought it would be kind of a cool story arc to show how despicable Marty Mouser becomes. But I think the stuff with Gwyneth Paltrow and Kevin O'Leary and the people around him, the people that come into the mix, is really fascinating. I think it's really fun. I think the fact that, you have this really gross individual that is Marty Mouser, using Gwyneth Paltrow's character to get his get what he wants, and how he treats everyone, and how he treats the Gwyneth Paltrow character, and how he treats Odessa Azion's character, who ends up getting pregnant with his child, even though she is married to another individual. Really shows that he is willing to do what it takes and willing to step over who he wants to get what he needs. And as this movie moves along, you start to see that in spades. Like, you start to see how just interesting his character becomes and how it plays out, and the music that is played into the movie. This has like one of my favorite songs at the end of the movie from Tears for Fears, which is Everybody Wants to Rule the World. But it just, the way Timothée Chalamet just kind of rules with this movie, how he's just so smart, and how he is so fast talking, and how he, apologizes but then does something stupid later on, and how the effects and the chaotic nature of everything that's happening is similar to like what Adam Sandler's character does in Uncut Gems, where this character loves the people he's around, but he does things that you're just like questioning, why are you doing what you're doing? You're not helping yourself. You're getting yourself in trouble, and he just doesn't care. And it leads to like a really exciting table or ping pong table tennis match, and it leads to some like really funny moments in the movie. There's some things that will shock you with what Timothée Chalamet's character says in this movie to people of color, to people of different races, and it really is just a really enthralling movie. And I think Josh Safdie has just crafted probably one of his career best movies in general, and just how it just ekes at like making you just like, oh, cringe, and just, what are you doing? Oh my god, I love this movie. I think Fran Drescher and Sandra Bernhard in this movie very little, but there's like a fun subplot with him and this a younger person who's like becomes his friend, who I actually can't find the name of for some reason. I don't know why I shouldn't write it down. But he is like this overweight young adult who helps Marty create this new orange ball, like the orange ping pong ball, which I think they use. But it's stuff like that. It's like scams, and him stealing jewelry from the Gwyneth Paltrow character and trying to sell it off, and him doing all this stuff, trying to like wheel and deal, and like the Odessa Azion character, who's really good in this movie, tries to use her for certain things, and it kind of throws her to the side. He's like a very despicable character, very sad, pathetic character, but there's something kind of enticing and enthralling about who he is, and how he like can walk into a crowd and just like be the center of attention, or he can go up to a table of like really rich individuals and like play the room and make them like curious. And it's a guy with confidence. It's a guy with like despicable confidence, and the time that Timothée Chalamet is really good at playing that character, and he does a really nice job in this movie. Once again, it is an Oscar-worthy performance, the Oscar-worthy performance. I think, once again, depending on how you feel, it's either going to be him or Ethan Hawke that wins the Oscar this year, and rightfully so, because they're both fantastic performances. This movie is fantastic. It's like I said, beautifully shot. The set pieces are amazing. It's a movie that's going to get a lot of Oscar love. Casting's great. Once again, there are fun characters. Philip Petit's in this movie, like I said, the wire walker from the Twin Towers incidents, and they got David Mamet in this movie. It's just a really interesting, really chaotic movie, but once again, really shows the good directorial efforts of a Safdie brother, and it's a pretty incredible movie. It really is. Once again, it's based off an individual named Marty Reisman, but it really is some kind of movie. But once again, it's too long. It could chop up some fat in the movie that doesn't need to be there, but I think overall it's a very, 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 very good movie. One of the best of the year. So there you go. Anyways, with that said, that is my take on Marty Supreme. It'll be out in theaters during Christmas. I do appreciate you watching. Comments below. What is your favorite Timothée Chalamet performance, or what is your favorite, Safdie Brothers movie? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell. Top to find us coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.